Hey garden friends, welcome to the channel. If you love fresh herbs but you hate the thought of constantly having to buy them every week, well, today I've got a very special video where I'll be talking to you all about chives. Chives are one of the easiest herbs that you can grow yourself, whether you're planning on starting them on grocery store cuttings or growing them from seeds or even harvesting from your own seeds for future planting. I've got you covered all in this video. And the best part, chives can grow almost anywhere, even if you don't have a garden. In this video, I'll cover how to grow chives from store-bought cuttings. Yes, the ones that have been sitting in your fridge and you haven't finished cutting them up yet, you can grow those ones. Secondly, I'll cover how to grow chives from seeds. I'll take you through the process from germination to transplanting. And then I'll also talk about where chive seeds come from and how you can harvest them so you won't have to buy chive seeds again. I'll also give you a couple of tips on how to care for your chives, what kind of garden spot you must put them in, how much you must water them, all of those nice things. So grab your gardening gloves and let's get started. First up, growing chives from grocery store cuttings. Now there are some very good grocery stores who will sell you chives that look like this. You see this one? Now maybe you've bought a bunch of chives from the store and wondered, can I just regrow these instead of buying more next week? The answer, absolutely. Here's what you'll need. A simple glass of water. You cut your fresh chives with the white base still attached. Trim your chives down so there's about 5 cm stalk above the white base. Then pop them in a glass of water with just 2 to 3 cm of water covering the bottom. Leave this on your windowsill for about a week to reroot. In about a week, you'll see some roots forming, and once they are about 2 to 3 centimeters long, it's time to move them into soil. Pro tip: while you're keeping your chives in the water, you have to change the water every 2 or 3 days. Trust me, it'll keep them fresh and prevent all that weird smell. At this point, it's really just about keeping them happy. Chives love a bright and sunny spot and soil that stays moist, not soggy. Too much water and they'll rot. Too little, they'll just shrivel up and die. Now once they've grown their roots like this, then they are ready for transplant. Moving on to the second and my most favorite way of growing chives is growing them from seed. Now this is for the long run. Why must you grow your chives from seeds? If you want a long-lasting chive plant that keeps on coming back every year, growing from seeds is the best way for you to go. Here's what you're going to need. Of course, your chive seeds, a small pot or seedling trays. This is my grow bag from Zuti. I want to grow some of my chives in this grow bag. Requirement number 1 for growing chives from seeds is patience, patience, patience. If you will be growing your chives from store-bought seeds, then you are going to skip this step. But you will only skip this step for your first time growing. In subsequent seasons, this is how you will gather your seeds. When looking for chives flowers, you see this stalk over here. It's thicker than the regular chive leaves. This one is for flowers. At the tip, a small green bud forms. It's still closed tight, but inside, tiny flowers are waiting to bloom. If you watch slowly, you can see where it will eventually open up. As soon as it opens up, a round purple pom-pom made of tiny star-shaped flowers forms. It dries up and ends up looking like this. This is the part of the chives that you collect for your seeds. You simply snip off and save for later. I remember the first time I saw the chives flowers, I was very excited because they were so beautiful. I just saw these beautiful purple flowers that were growing on my chives, and I wasn't aware that this is where I was going to find my seeds. These little purple pom-poms, and I mean, look at them. They are not just pretty, they are pollinator magnets. Bees absolutely love them. But what's even more exciting, these flowers are where the seeds come from. And if you've never collected your own seeds before, let me tell you, it feels like gardening magic. Once the flowers fade and start to dry out, that's when the real treasure appears. If you take a dried flower and you rub it between your fingers, you'll see these tiny black seeds fall right out. Each flower holds dozens of these seeds, and it still amazes me that these tiny specks can grow into full plants that just keep on coming back each time you cut them. Pro tip: if you want seeds for next season, don't cut all your flowers. Let a few dry out on the plant, then snip them off and store these seeds in a paper envelope. And just like that, you've got free seeds for next year's garden. No need to buy new ones, just plant these and the cycle starts all over again. Plus, if you ever want to share with friends, gifting homegrown chive seeds is a great way to spread all of that gardening love. Once your purple flowers turn white and they dry up like this, it's the perfect time for you to harvest your seeds. Well, this season, my chives plant was just a factory of seeds. Some were already turning brown. At the same time, some were forming. So it was one popping up after another. Others are still just purple, waiting for their turn to turn brown like those ones. We've got purple ones, we've got brown ones, all at the same time. Now let's harvest the ones that are ready for picking. Inside the dried flower, hidden between the petals, there are small black seeds. These are the ones that we are collecting to grow our chives again. This is the germination mix that I use. It says professional, and hey, I'm trying to be a professional gardener, I guess. This is what it looks like on the inside. It seems to have a little bit of perlite, a little bit of compost, and that's what I use to germinate my seeds. I like to take my seeds and scatter them lightly over the soil. They are tiny, so they don't need to be buried deep. Just a light dust of soil on top, about half a centimeter thick. Now, here's the part where I used to get impatient, waiting for these tiny seeds to sprout. If you keep them somewhere warm, around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, and mist them regularly, you will see the little green blades poking out in about 10 to 14 days. But the first time I tried it, I kept checking every morning, every afternoon when I came home from work, and I was convinced I had done something wrong because nothing was showing up. But all of that patience paid off. Pro tip: if you're growing chives outdoors, please be careful not to overwater them because too much moisture and they'll just rot instead of sprouting. I learned that the hard way. I have to be honest, when I first tried growing chives from seeds, I thought, how hard can it be? I'm just going to sprinkle some seeds, water them, and then voila, chives. Well, that's not quite how it goes. Growing seeds takes a little patience, but let me tell you, when those tiny green shoots finally pop up, it's the most satisfying feeling. And then the fourth step is for you to be very patient. Chive seeds, they take 10 to 14 days to germinate, and you must make sure that you keep the soil evenly moist but not waterlogged. Pro tip, once the seedlings are 5 centimeters tall, you can thin them out so they are spaced out about 10 centimeters apart. Here's ones that have been growing. These are the ones that have been growing on my seedling trays. Here's what they look like. And today I want to transplant them onto this grow bag. After you've done both of these methods for growing chives, both of them will lead you to this step. Now here you either transplant your seedlings onto the ground, or you can simply put them in a grow bag like I'm going to do today. I've got here a 5-liter grow bag with woven fabric, and this is where these particular chives will be growing. Here are my tips for growing chives in a grow bag. First of all, you need to choose the right time and the right grow bag. The best time to transplant your chives is an early spring or early autumn, when the weather is not too hot and not too cold. Here in South Africa, now it's early autumn, so the sun is not as hot as it used to be. It's a little bit cool, but there's still that warm summer breeze. This 5-liter fabric grow bag is what I have on hand. However, you can use any other grow bag as long as it has enough draining hole, because chives hate soggy roots. Chives thrive in a light and well-draining soil. You need to prepare your soil. You can try and mix potting soil with some compost and a handful of perlite or sand for drainage. Now these are some beautiful, healthy seedlings. I mean, look at these roots. They're so pretty. You can also add some slow release organic fertilizer just to boost the nutrition in your soil. Gently dig some holes in your grow bag, deep enough and wide enough for your chive roots to fit in. Just like the seeds, don't plant your seedlings too deep. After you're done transplanting, just give it a little bit of watering. Remember, too much water, your roots will become soggy and your plants will die. You can also add a layer of mulch like straw or dry grass clippings just to help retain some moisture as your plant grows. Place your grow bag in a sunny spot that receives at least 6 hours of sun daily and water only when the topsoil feels dry. Once your chives have settled, then you can start harvesting them. So today in my garden, I'm growing these chives in the grow bag. However, I also have others growing on the ground. And today I want to harvest the ones that are growing in the ground. Let's do this. Chives grow really fast. You can start harvesting about 60 days after transplanting. The best time to harvest is early morning when they are fresh and full of moisture. You use sharp scissors like here. Don't pull or break the leaves, this damages the plant. Use your clean sharp scissors or garden shears for a smooth cut. I cut low about 2 to 5 centimeters above the soil. This is to help them to regrow faster. Then I cut all the leaves at once and leave at least a third of the plant so it can recover. Chives love being trimmed. Harvest these every 2 to 3 weeks to keep them producing. If you don't use them often, give them a light trim anyway. This encourages new growth. Before we wrap up, here are 5 things about chives that might surprise you. Number 1, chives are perennials. That means once you plant them, they keep growing back every year. Number 2, the flowers are edible. You can try sprinkling them on salads for a mild onion flavor. Number 3, ancient Romans believed that chives could cure sore throats. This hasn't been scientifically proven, but hey, we are onto something. Bonus fact number 4, chives naturally repel pests, especially aphids and mosquitoes. Number 5, they grow incredibly fast, so cut them today and they'll regrow within a week. And that's it. Chives are a cut and come again herb, so harvest often and enjoy fresh homegrown flavor. And just like that, we've covered everything you need to know about growing chives. Whether you're regrowing from cuttings, or you're starting from seeds, or harvesting your own seeds for your next season. Now you've got everything you need to keep your kitchen stocked up with fresh chives year after year. So now it's over to you. Are you going to try and regrow your own chives? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who needs some fresh herbs in their life. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I'll see you on the next one.